Hello, Brian the fanboy here, and today I'm gonna talk about the time I went to Catholic school. This is a video I've been wanting to make for some time because in later videos I will start talking about certain things, and this is just so people will know more about me and learn where I'm coming from. Now, when I first started going to Catholic school, I didn't know I was going to a Catholic school. As a matter of fact, I didn't even know what Catholic school was. You see, I've been to some other schools before. They were public schools, but that was back when I was very little. And I started going to Catholic school in September of 1993. Now, yes, I admit that it wasn't easy, but it wasn't bad either. The only problem was is that I was shy. We shall get more onto it later in this video. Now, on my first day, I remember that my mother gave me a uniform. Of course, back then, I didn't know it was a uniform. I just thought it was something nice for me to wear on my first year of school. And then, as my mother drove me to the school, I saw other kids wearing the same thing, only almost, what I was wearing. And my school uniform, well, the one I wore was blue jacket, no, blue shirt with long sleeve and buttons and black pants. And the other kind of shirts that the other boys were wearing, well, they were either blue with long sleeves or blue with short sleeves, white with long sleeves and white with short sleeves. Now, as for the girls, they had different uniforms on. It was kind of like plaid skirts, and they also had some kind of shirt underneath, but we couldn't see what it was because it was underneath the dresses. Now, in first grade, I went to two teachers over there. The first one, she kind of had to be on maternity leave because, she became pregnant and had to be out of the job for a while, to take care of her baby. And then the second teacher, it wasn't easy for me at the time because you see what happened was that my family and I were visiting relatives in Peru for Christmas in for Christmas of 1993, and then we got back during the middle of January of 1994, and I think that's when I started being shy because I maybe because I missed other stuff or I wasn't used to certain things, but yes, that's what happened. Of course, at the beginning of the school year, it was all right at first. I mean, even a lot of the kids over there, they wanted to get to know more about me. They talked to me and invited me to stuff. We even played Power Rangers at the time. And let's see what else happened. Yes. Now, since it was a Catholic school, one of the things we learned was religion, and of course we learned stories from the Bible. And when I read it, I was fascinated, and I really enjoyed the stories. We also had other subjects too, like math, science, reading, writing, and so on. Oh, and the Catholic school I went to, well, it was two buildings. You see, one building was the classrooms and the computer room and the library and a few offices. And the other building was the gym, cafeteria, and auditorium. And also, once a month, we go to the church, sometimes during the school day, for mass. Now, another thing that happened when I was in Catholic school was that, that's when I first started to learn how to use a calendar. You see, every month the teacher would give the students like a 1 month calendar for each for the month we were in. So in time, for at least a year, I started to learn more about the calendars, but it wouldn't be like I did a few years until I learned how it actually works. But yeah, so now I know about the months, and this is when so eventually I learned about the months and all that stuff. Let's see what else happened. Oh yes, and also you might have heard that in Catholic schools, teachers, all these nuns, hit students with rulers whenever they misbehave. Of course, at the Catholic school I went to, that didn't happen. Maybe it did in the past, but I do not know because I was born in 1986. You see, at the Catholic school I went to, whenever a student, was misbehaving, they just get sent to the principal's office and have them call the parents. And also, yes, there were nuns over there, but not all of them were teachers. I mean, some classes were taught by nuns, and other classes were taught by other teachers who were not nuns, regular people. And also, you might have seen portrayals of nuns with those black and white things, that made them look like penguins. However, the nuns at the Catholic school I went to, they wore regular clothes. So it was like being around a bunch of grandmothers. Uh, yes. Oh, also, by the end of first grade, I have already learned that Our Father and the Hail Mary. Because you see, every morning we had morning prayers. And they say the same thing every morning. And, after hearing that every day to school here, I gonna learn how it's done. Now in second grade, well, I guess we started to get ready for our first communion. And that's what mostly did. And we did other stuff as well. The same side. Now you and let's see, what else happened? Yeah, I mean, yeah, we still learn other stuff like relation, math, science, and so on. And let's see, I think what else would have happened. Trying to, I mean, the other stuff happened in second grade, I guess. Trying to remember what, but yeah, mostly that. Oh yeah, I mean, right now, on my birthday of that 1995. Well, my mother brought in a cake because, last year we didn't have a party before because, you were in Peru that time. Also, when I was a kid, I wish we had a birthday party at my place because, invited the other students because, I thought that if they knew where I lived, then, the parents wouldn't have to get there next if I wanted to invite them order for anything, like to play or something. Yes, let's see. Yeah, I'm sure the other things happen in second grade, but now in third grade, I still learn more about the Bible as well. I mean, yeah, we still learn about the Bible in second grade as well. More stories about Jesus and God, and then I mean, another thing we learn more about the Old Testament stories. Like Adam and Eve, Noah, Moses, so on. And what happened in how we learned about them was from watching this anime on video cassette called Superbook, which was about this magic Bible that transport these two kids and an action figure back through biblical times. They meet all those figures on the Bible. And I was hoping to watch the one about Jesus, for Christmas and Easter, but we never got to it. But yes, that's when I started to learn more about those stories as well. And let's see, I started to figure out what else happened. What's that we have it here? Yes. Oh yeah, Superbook. Yes, that was an anime that I forgot to talk about in my anime video. Yeah, but yes, and made me interested in learning those stories as well. Yeah. Oh, in fourth grade, um, well, we learned the Ten Commandments. I like, I was so excited about it because I heard about the Ten Commandments before, and I was like, finally, I gotta learn what they are. Yes, and we even saw the Ten Commandments movie with Charles Heston. And I think I'm pretty surprised that they would show. I mean, yes, it's a Catholic book, but what's inside there is kind of. Well, I'm not getting too much into it, but yes. Now, I don't know if it was from when I was in third or fourth grade, but during my time in Catholic. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that also during my time in Catholic school, I took piano lessons at the nearby at the convent. That was close to it because probably because my mother didn't want me to stay at home too much and watching TV. I mean, yes, because I think she wanted me to be more active and stuff. But anyway, yes. Now, like I said before, I think it was during for the fourth grade that I was starting to feel like I was missing some stuff out from going to Catholic school because you see, growing up, a lot of shows I saw that were children were the main characters. Well, a lot of them were in public school. And I thought there were things that Celtic school couldn't happen over there because, for me it was another public school. Yes. And I mean, that's why, because you see, growing up, there wasn't much TV shows about kids to go to Catholic school or any other private school where they required to wear a uniform. And also, I started to watch some of these episodes that they have, and the shows had anti-uniform episodes. Kids were like outraged and stuff. And then, of course, I learned that religion was not taught in public schools as well. I mean, there was this episode in The Simpsons where the superintendent heard of, well, Clemens was principal for a while because Skinner was fighting his job, and he heard that Ned Flanders said at the speaker, thank the Lord, he was outraged because he was starting a prayer at a public school. Yes, and that's when I learned that, that in public schools, they don't teach religion. And yeah, and I understand why. And let's see, but I think what else I can say. Start to think. Let's see. Well, maybe like come back to me later. Let's see. Yes, and then in fifth grade, well, my family and I already were living in Swanham, Massachusetts. And well, my mother still had me go to the Catholic school in Medford. Yeah, that's where we met in Massachusetts. I forgot to mention that. But well, I want to leave the school, and it wasn't because I didn't like it. It was because I didn't think it made sense for me to go to school in a town we used to live in when there was another school that was a short walk away from the house we were living in now. And the kids, well, at the Catholic school I went to, well, they were right. I mean, yeah, there were two who were not willing to me, but eventually they stopped. Maybe because they grew it or realized what they were doing was wrong. Oh, and also in fifth grade, I did have my first opportunity to perform in a play. You see, oh, I forgot to do this. Sorry about that. I forgot to take care of something here. No, yes, the first group play. Oh, hold on, I had to stop this for a while to fix something. All right, like I was saying before, yes, in fifth grade, I had an opportunity to be in my first play. You see, before I saw a place in auditorium, and when I saw them, it looked like fun, and I wish my class could do those things. And I finally get the opportunity because, well, it was a show, well, a school play was something I always wanted to do when I was a kid. I already started with them in high school, but I'll talk more about that in another video. Now, of course, I wasn't able to perform because, well, my mother had scheduled for us to visit Italy and Peru, a few days before the, the play or even Christmas vacation. And I wasn't happy about it. I just wish, at least schedule after um, the school would be closed, for the next 2 weeks. Now, oh yeah, just I forgot to mention, during my time at Catholic school, well, yes, we do wear uniforms as well, and once a week we wear special gym uniforms because, well, the kind of uniforms we wear on no gym days were not meant for gym activity. And then also on the only time we wore regular clothes was on special occasions, like on a holiday or so on. So yes, it was a rare thing to happen. And then by the end of fifth grade, well, my mother decided to have me and my sister go to public school because, well, the reason what happened was that, well, no, it had to be public school, but it was school and that we were living in because, well, my mother she realized the stress was causing her having us driving us, well, coming us to a school, to another town we didn't live anymore, and we eventually I started going to public school, and that's kind of so that was that. I mean, it wasn't bad. Yes, for us, it made more sense to go to whichever school was the closest. For me and my sister to go whichever school was the closest, whether it was public or Catholic. Now, and if you're a parent who considering sending your child to Catholic school or any other kind of religious school, because you're not happy with the direction public schools are going these days, well, just make sure that the school you're choosing is not going to be teaching anything they shouldn't be teaching. Especially if it contradicts the values that we go by traditionally. And if you are planning on being a teacher or student at a part of a religious school, you have to understand that you have to like abide by certain rules because, well, if you're not able to do that, then that's not the right place for you. And, well, if there are certain if you want to go to if you want your children to go to a certain part of religious school, but the town or city you live in doesn't have one, then ask the people who run the church or place of worship you go to build one. Yeah, and I hope the people who run YouTube will not remove my video or my Danish channel for saying this because I heard you don't like this, but I guess I have to give out my own opinion about this matter. And well, I'm not trying to convert anybody here. I'm just like I said before, it's just so people who watch my videos will learn more about me and know where I'm coming from. At least know more about me and know where I'm coming from. Yeah, so I think that's all I can say about my time at Catholic School for this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.